I'm in Boston.
The city on a hill, also known as Beantown. Boston is rich in history, a world leader in innovation, and international center for higher education. It also happens to be a food mecca.
Oh, look at all the lobster in there.
And I'm here for the first time, eager to try classics like New England Clam Chowder.
That's special.
And lobster rolls, and dive deep into Boston's rich immigrant communities for Uyghur cuisine, an incredible authentic Yemeni feast, dim sum in a Chinatown institution, the best pizza in the world.
Look at the cheese falling off.
And tons of oysters in between. So grab your walking shoes and get your stretchy pants on. We're on a 4-day food tour to find out why they say Boston never gets old.
We just checked into our hotel. I'm so excited to get into some food today on day 1 of our Boston food tour. But first, we're gonna do a quick little tour of MIT. Have you had any classes here?
Yeah, all my freshman year classes, like calculus is there.
Awesome. Thank you. These aren't just any bananas, these are MIT bananas. Directly from the Banana Lounge. Starting the food tour off right. That's a good banana.
So this is...
I appreciate that they're not refrigerated. But they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go in the box room.
Like 20 people walked in as we were walking in.
Yep.
It actually gets used. So I hear that you got to do like, there's clam strips and then there's whole belly clams, which is the entire clam that you fry. And they're supposed to be tastier because you get like all the like oceanic flavor because the clam strips, they could be a little bit more rubbery. Okay. So if you ever go have fried clams, get the whole belly clams. Yeah. All right, guys, we had an awesome tour at MIT. Thanks to Andres' cousin, Gabriela. She's amazing and she gave us such a great first-hand experience of what it's like to walk through MIT and see some of the incredible buildings in there. Thank you. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Never been to Boston. Having a lobster sandwich, white toast. You can even see, oh, look at all the lobster in there. They pack it really well. The bread's pretty much just holding all of it together. It's a cold salad. It looks like it might have a mayonnaise base to it, but nice chunks of lobster in there. As you're chewing, you start to get all the flavors of the lobster, that sweet flavor of the lobster meat, and the mayonnaise is very light. Beautiful flaky lobster. The bread has been toasted, it's got a little bit of butter on it, so you're also getting like this creamy, buttery flavor in there as well. This tastes like such a home style sandwich. Even got a little bit of that claw meat, but you can see the tanks in there. So it looks like they bring them in early and by the end of the day, they're sold out. The only ingredients in here are really just to bring out the flavor of the lobster. Whoa. So I actually just really got a bite of the lobster body meat. So it's not just the claws. I got a nice big chunk, a big juicy bite. And this is not the lobster roll, so I don't want to confuse the two. This is a lobster sandwich that they make here. They also have their own sodas here too, so I got a root beer, which I think is the perfect beverage to go with the lobster sandwich. Yeah. Oh, they also give you some chips. I really feel like I'm a kid in New England and this is my school lunch. If that was your school lunch as a kid, can you imagine how cool that is? You get to go and have lobster every day. Wow, those sandwiches were so good. What a great start. I want to give a special thank you to Gabriela, Andres' cousin, who is a student at MIT, and it was awesome. We even got to see the banana lounge, which is literally a lounge that they supply bananas for students, and they can come in at any time, grab a banana, and the whole place smells like bananas because there's just cartons full of bananas from floor to ceiling. It's so cool. All right, so when I heard that there's a Uyghur restaurant here, there was no way that I was gonna pass this up. It's a cuisine I've always wanted to try. I've never had it before. It's an ethnic minority group based in northwestern China.
The chef here is going to make the dry fried noodle dish right now. Going in first is the peppers and the onions. He's stir frying those. You can hear that beautiful sizzle. Wow. Oh, and there goes the meat. Garlic and a red pepper paste. Oh, it smells fantastic. Oh, there goes the vegetables and the meat back in now. Oh, the flame. And the noodles, there's the perfect dry fry process. Sizzling hot, perfectly coated. And right into the container it goes.
Cumin Lamb.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Oh man, it smells so good. All right, so here we have the Cumin Lamb. This is a stir-fried dish. You can see the spices sitting right on the lamb. It's so thick in that marinade and spice rub. Oh, that's incredible. The flavor of the cumin is really, really present. You're getting like soy, cumin, ginger. The pepper adds a wonderful, even spice throughout. And the lamb, so juicy and tender. Nice and hot too. This is the dry fried noodle. And as soon as it hit the table, I just got instantly the aroma of charred scallions and that wheat stir-fried noodle flavor, aroma. That is so good. The noodles are not very chewy. It's more like a wheat noodle, much more tender, but they have like a nice thickness to them, but still very tender. Let me see, this is the lamb here. But look how beautiful that lamb is. Thin slices, little bite-sized mouthfuls. Wow. These are incredible dishes. The actual peppers are all sliced so evenly. Slices about just as thick as the noodle itself. Oh, amazing. It's so hard not to just eat directly out of the plate. I'm gonna serve myself some here on the side. Oh man, beautiful. The color on this, the greens, the reds, the slices of onion, the smoky scent. Let me get a little bit of that lamb there. Let me get some of the cumin lamb. Looks like it's also got green beans on the bottom. Blistered green beans. Wow. Oh man, yes. Look at this plate, look at this plate. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, this is not like a samosa that I've had before. It's a lot more of a flaky puff pastry. Whoa. Okay, it's really, really hot. Whoa. Wow, that meat patty is so juicy. It's a minced beef, onions, more spices and seasonings, and this pastry crust. It's so flaky. It almost disintegrates in your hands. You have to hold it pretty gently. Whoa. Wow. I really can't stress how rich in spices this food is. The cumin, peppers, ginger, soy, it's so good. As in spicy. You know, it's kind of like a mild jerk seasoning because it's not super spicy. That was so good, you guys. So much flavor. The spices, that fiery roasted essence in each of the dishes. If you guys have a Uyghur restaurant in your city, definitely check them out. The food is amazing. And also if you've heard in the news over the last few years, the Uyghur minority group in northwestern China has been facing persecution, and it's extremely sad to see and hear about. A way that you can support the community is by going to their restaurants, eating their food, making sure that their heritage does not get lost. Boston is known for their beer, New England IPAs, hello. So we stopped at Remnant Brewery here in Bow Market. This is their Ghost and Flowers IPA. Man, that's so juicy. This is made with a German hops, juicy stone fruit notes. And this tastes like peach beer, nectar of peach beer. It's delicious. It really does look like a stone fruit nectar. This is their Oktoberfest lager, and look at the color of this. Nothing represents fall more than a lager that looks like this. It's really beautiful out here this time of year, and this beer is exactly what you need. Wow. Malty, also juicy, not a dry beer. Kind of reminds me of Belgium. That maltiness really brings back some memories. They got Brazilian cheeses too. Okay, so we had to stop in here. We've been passing by so many Brazilian places, and this is just like a little market as we were walking by, and we're like, all right, let's just go check it out. Well, they have a whole butcher shop back here. Looks good. Whoa, what is this? Hola. So it's like a savory chicken, like a casserole, or I see, okay. Oh, torta fria. Okay. And we'll take a pudim. Obrigada. Oh, okay, guys, this is so cool. I love the unexpected. We have our torta fria de frango. It's a cold chicken tort, I guess you can call it. It's actually savory. It's got shredded chicken, a fluffy white bread, and the potatoes on the outside. Looks like it also has a layer of mayonnaise, but so you got bread, mayo, oh, some corn, shredded chicken, bread, chicken, more corn, bread. A hearty, hefty tort. That is delicious. The seasoning in the chicken is really bright, little lemony, healthy amount of mayonnaise in there. Soft bread. You can tell they make this here in-house. With the little papitas on the outside, it gives it a little bit of that crunch that something like this would need with the shredded chicken and the bread being so soft. Wow. Ooh, I found an olive. Found a little olive slice in there. This is really good. Super heavy, but this is delicious, and it tastes, like I was saying, really, really fresh. What is this? Oh, this is the stuff that goes on the feijoada. Look at this entire quart-sized container just sitting here as a condiment. So I'm gonna put it on my torta de frango. Oh man, this is so cool, you guys. This was totally out of left field, but this is what I travel for. You come across something like this in a Brazilian supermarket, and they're making this fresh daily. It's so good. Let me put some hot sauce on it. Let me put some up here. So, a chicken salad with bread, the mayo, and instead of giving you chips with it, they roll the outside in the potato, the little potato sticks. This is the house-made pudim. It's a Brazilian flan, and they actually make it here in-house. Wow, it is very silky and creamy. Wow, that is a custard. Oh, this looks so good. That's incredible. Creamy, just sweet enough. I noticed it doesn't have like a caramel or a very dark caramel on top. The flavor is really packed right into the flan itself. And they bake it in like a bundt pan. So it has that kind of bundt cake shape. And this is just a sliver from that. But look how creamy that is.
Did you like?
Yes, I love it. And this is awesome too.
Perfect.
Yes,
So
yeah.
This
It's great. It's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, the ladies who work here are so sweet. They were checking on us to see if we like it. This is a grocery store, but they treat it like you're coming into their home. The only thing I need is a little espresso.
Bye, thank you.
Obrigada.
Obrigado.
Ciao.
Obrigada a você.
It's never too late for a coffee, and since I didn't have any this morning, having woken up at 5:30 a.m., I figure I have a coffee cocktail this evening. Oh, by the way, this place is called Jeho Coffee. Whoa, that's strong. It's espresso and a liquor 43. It's called shaken with ice. That is solid cocktail. You can definitely taste the alcohol in here. I'm curious what the liquor 43 is. It almost has like a flavor as if it was like a coffee vodka or something like that. Oh, you know what it tastes like? An alcoholic frappe, like a Greek freddo espresso, something like that. It's even got the nice foam on top. Look how cute these cups are. Is this a cortado? That's a big cortado. Solid. Whole milk cortado. Okay, we're walking back to our hotel and we passed by this place. It's called Emac and Bolio's. It's been open since like 18 something. Hello.
Yes, good.
Good. So is this considered a frap?
Milkshake. I don't really know why they call it a frap.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
I'm good with you guys.
You too. Dude. All right, so it's kind of dark. I misread the sign. It's been open since 1975, not 1875. Either way, super cool spot. This is a Boston cream pie milk smoothie. Made it like a milkshake, but they call it a milk smoothie here. They also had frap on the menu. It's a lot of names in there, but essentially milk ice cream. Boston cream pie flavor. Oh, wow. Super thick, but it has such a classic milkshake flavor. Forgive me, I'm saying milkshake, but if you're not from Boston, you probably call it a milkshake. So it's got that thick consistency. The ice cream, it's really, really good. I was wondering if it might have like cake chunks or something like that in it. No, it's just kind of like the Boston cream pie flavor. So it's really good. It's one of those that like your throat, your neck tendons will be sore by the time you're done drinking this. It's really good. We just got back to our hotel. We're staying at the Citizen M in Back Bay, which location-wise is so perfect for everywhere we wanted to hit up. I love this hotel. Love the layout of the rooms. Love the common areas. Really cozy, great for working, remote, a bar. It's awesome. The first time we stayed at one of these hotels was in Paris at the Charles de Gaulle airport. Really liked it, so I'm glad we booked it again here. The rooms are very simple. They're smart rooms too, so everything kind of works efficiently. You have a larger bed. It's a very functional hotel while still being very comfortable. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It's day 2. Let's go get some coffee. It's a Japanese coffee shop, and this is their first international location outside of Japan. It's called Ogawa Coffee. Look how pretty these cups are. So one of the things that drew me to this place was their latte art. It looks really, really beautiful. Aside from the coffee looking really delicious, I was like, I have to see this latte art for myself. Man, I love how cozy it is in here. Hi. Good. Can I please have a hot matcha latte, please?
Hot matcha,
Yes.
Would you like that milk?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. That looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's so crisp. You can see the details of every line, the beautiful heart going down the center, and the green of the matcha. Wow. Oh, that's so good. There's a delicate sweetness in there, and I didn't ask for any sugar in here. So I don't know if they put a little bit of a syrup or if that's just naturally extracted from the matcha tea, but it tastes amazing. There's that vegetal matcha flavor, but it's not bitter or astringent, and the milk is really, really smooth. And look how the design, you can see the foam is quite thick, so it holds its shape while you're sipping it. I think this is the best matcha I've ever had, or matcha latte. Of course, I've got to try their espresso in its purest form, so I got a long black too. The cup is really hot and there's no handles, so I'm gonna do my best here. Ooh, whoa. It's fruity, bright. That's really nice. It almost tastes like the maltiness of like a dark beer, which is crazy. Giving this a swirl, you can see how thick the matcha tea is in there. The flavor of this latte is awesome. I really enjoy this. Nothing better than having a fresh matcha latte like that and then walking out and it's cold outside but not freezing. It's cozy. You just take the cozy with you. I really wish I could have another one. That's what I'm really feeling, but it's time for more food. Let's head over to the harbor. Boston Duck Tour is alive and thriving. On the way is a FANEUIL marketplace, so I just want to do a quick little walkthrough. Check it out. Italian sausages. Oh, look at this pasta maker.
We're a franchise out of Venice, Italy. Oh, really?
No way.
Yes. We are just opening this afternoon. We're just getting the last pieces of our point of sale set up.
Well, we got lobster on lobster. They are ready for the crowds. Wow. Okay, this is the time you gotta get here. Early, right before lunchtime, everyone's bringing out the food fresh for the day, ready for the lunch rush. Ooh. Oh, it's a Greek stall. You got one of the Boston classics here, Regina's Pizza. We're gonna try Regina's in North End. Probably, I think tomorrow we're gonna go to North End. We haven't even been in Boston for 24 hours yet. Oh, look at this, like a little atrium. Oh, Vivi Bubble Tea. We have this place in Atlanta. I wonder if they're from here, because this is the second one we see. So even on this side, you've got Korean, Taiwanese, Japanese, Mexican, a literal oyster bar. Whoa. All right, here's the place, Boston Sail Loft. They open in 5 minutes, so we're just gonna hang around, but I wanted to make sure we get here on time because these places get extremely busy. This is just a little inlet in the harbor here. Oh, you know, these are electric boats. You can actually hire those and go by yourself. So we got in, we got the first seats in the patio. It's a tiny little patio back here, so there's already a line of people waiting outside. Everyone's gonna get seated right now, but definitely you wanna get here early if you don't wanna have to wait. It is beautiful out here today. I can't get over how green the water is. This beautiful turquoise hue. Okay, our clam chowder's here. Of course, it only takes about 2 minutes. So much dill. I love how they pour it till it just falls over the side of the cup.
Cheers.
Thank you. Oh, I see tons of clams in there. Little bits of potato. Piping hot. That's special. Instantly you taste that broth of the clams. You have a little bit of texture with the potatoes, and you get an immediate kick of this wonderful stewed dill flavor. And not to mention how creamy it is. Look at all that dill. Just totally unashamed of adding tons of dill in there. It's herb confetti. So hot. Serving chowder in a mug is like the best thing ever because the opening is not too wide, so it doesn't get cold very fast, and it just maintains the heat of the chowder, especially when you're sitting out here and it's cool outside. You gotta chase it with a beer. This is a local brewery. It's Night Shift Brewery, and this is their pale ale. So it's like strong enough to kind of contrast with the chowder, but not too strong taken away from it. This one's really juicy. And it also brings oyster crackers. I really like the clam chowder on its own, but I have to try it with the oyster crackers. It's good, but doesn't need it. The chowder is really good on its own. If you like dill or very herbaceous flavors, this is definitely for you. Thank you. And the sun is shining. All right, so we overheard one of the waiters saying that the lobster roll is one of the specialties of the house, so we got to get it. First thing I see is how much lobster claw meat is in here. Got it all over, beautifully dressed. I chose the hot lobster roll. Wow, look at all that butter. It's also on like a brioche roll. Oh man, that looks so good. Very chunky lobster meat. A little sweet, not as sweet as yesterday. I like the touch of the lettuce in there. The brioche roll adds a little bit of that sweetness to it. It's very soft and fluffy. Look at this claw meat. I love how they leave it whole. A little bit more butter. All right. That's how you gotta do it. You have to squeeze the lemon on there. It adds a juiciness. It tastes more like fresh cracked boiled lobster with the drizzle of the butter. It's so soft. The roll is more like just kind of like a carrying vessel for the lobster meat, because the roll is not very deep, but I like that. I would prefer more lobster meat than bread. Let's get another squeeze of that in there. Get some French fries. Very potatoey, thick cut. It's like a russet potato French fry. This is like a side of America I've never seen. You only hear about. See it in the movies. It's beautiful out here, guys, I gotta tell you. All right, guys, so we came back to the Quincy Market. Dalmoros is a pasta stall opening up in here today. They're from Venice, and we're actually gonna have their first plate of pasta today. They're literally like 20 minutes away from officially opening their store. While we wait, we can try the tiramisu. Lots of cocoa powder on top of there. I love how they give it to you in a cup, just like in Rome. Simple, it's all about the flavor. Oh man, so creamy. The lady fingers in there dipped in the coffee are nice and soft. I really love that custard pudding in there. Right now, the machine's pumping out rigatoni. Earlier today, it was making the fusilli pasta. This is semolina flour pasta too. You can see that roughness of the dough. It's gonna help the sauce stick to the pasta noodles really well. Wow, okay, so I asked for the Mama Rosa, which is a creamy sauce, but first of all, look at this fettuccine, how thick. It's almost like a pappardelle. Tomato, basil, cream sauce, and Parmesan cheese. Oh man, I love how this fettuccine kind of has like a little bit of a wave to it. It's got a beautiful zing from the tomato sauce, a little bit of basil flavor in there, and just ultimately creamy and cheesy. The texture of the fettuccine noodle, it's got a lovely bite to it. It's al dente. Fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and it's just melting into the cream sauce. I love how in all the chaos of the Quincy Market, you get this beautiful taste of Italy. Oh, it actually tells you to keep the box open. If you close it, the pasta will become softer because it'll continue to cook in the steam of the box. When you're in a historical city like Boston, sometimes you gotta do the touristy things. We're here in the square with the Sam Adams statue, and right here's the Sam Adams tap room, so we gotta go have some Sam Adams beer. Everything does taste better coming straight from the tap room. Wow, perfect day drinking. It's got a really nice body to it, but still very light and crisp. Thank you, Sam Adams. Boston filled in land over time to create more land space, and we were just headed over to the T train, and I came across this sign. It says Old Town Dock, filled 1708. This was literally the edge of the water in 1708. All right, if you guys haven't noticed already from yesterday, you can't come to Boston and not have international food. We're headed to a Yemeni restaurant. It has incredible reviews on Google, and it's also the first Yemeni restaurant in Boston. It's right here down the street. I love Middle Eastern food, but I've never had Yemeni food, so I'm very excited to try this. You gotta love these little porches. So they're gonna show us how they make the Mulawah bread, which is in Arabic, it's the action, the name comes from the action of actually throwing the bread, slapping it onto the side of the oven. Oh, it goes through a machine to flatten it. Nice and thin. It goes onto this kind of pillow. He's scoring it to allow the air bubbles to escape. You saw that action where he literally just slapped it onto the side of the wall and now it's baking. He scored it to minimize the air bubbles, but it's got a beautiful bubbling that's happening right now. The bread is getting cooked in there for a few minutes and then it's gonna, do you flip the bread? Do you flip it over? Or yeah, it's done. Yeah, okay. It's a very technical process. You have to learn the feel of the bread. This is something that's learned not just by reading a book. You really have to learn the feel for it. Wow. And there it is. Beautiful. Guys, if you could only smell how delicious, the beautiful charring bubbles on here. I cannot wait to try that. It looks so good. Oh, wow. Their Yemeni cocktail, non-alcoholic, and it's got mango, pineapple, sweetened with dates, strawberry, milk, and vimto, which I've never heard of before. It's really thick, like a smoothie. Oh, man. Wow, that's delicious. Oh, it's like a mango pudding. The dates really add like this brown sugar sweetness to it. It definitely has like this black currant, dark cherry essence to it. Thick from the mango and the milk and creaminess of it. We ordered their hummus. Look how beautiful this hummus looks. I think that's maybe some sumac. Oh, and it's served with hot pita bread. Incredible, incredible. The hummus is so tangy and creamy. There's a very strong presence of lemon.
This is lamb Mandi. This one is a lamb stew.
Oh man.
Beautiful.
This is the lamb stew. Look how it's still bubbling in a stone bowl. This is called the Fahsa lamb stew. Oh, the bread is so soft. Oh. Wow. The stew is incredible. It has so much flavor. Light broth. It's not a thick stew. It's very soupy. So much shredded lamb. And the coriander is getting mixed in now, so you're really getting the scent of the coriander hitting your senses now. I've never had lamb stew like that. Wow. This is the lamb Mandi. Oh, it looks like it's got crispy onions on top. I'm gonna squeeze this lemon wedge on top. Wow, that basmati rice is so fluffy. I'm gonna get a piece out of here. This is a whole lamb shank. Look at that. Oh, some onions and basmati. That's one of the most delicious things I've ever tried. The lamb is tender, has just enough
fat to make it very soft. The basmati rice is so good. This is a smoky turmeric basmati, and you can really taste just a gentle smokiness there. It's so aromatic and fragrant. Very thinly shaved onion and quick fried. Adds this beautiful flavor. Look at that meat. It's so tender. I don't even need a knife. So we were told that the lamb's got to be eaten with the broth, lemon juice squeezed in there, and then just dredge it in the broth. That's really good. The lamb broth is very mild and gentle. I'm gonna try, I think it's more intended to be with the bread. Some lamb meat, some of that buttery fat, a little bit of rice, and then we'll go in for the broth. And some of this chili sauce that also accompanied this dish. That chewy elasticity of the bread, a little bit of that char flavor just adds to the overall flavor. That broth softens the bread, even though the bread is already soft as it is. And this sauce, beautiful spice to it, garlicky, but it's like a cold tomato sauce. It's been about 10 minutes since this was served to us. It is boiling hot. I just burned my tongue. Oh my God. Wow, but the flavor is out of this world. My brain is exploding at how delicious this food is. Not all Middle Eastern food is created the same. It varies from country to country, and this is unlike anything I've had before. Oh. That will cure a cold. This rice has so much flavor on its own. It's almost like it has to be eaten separate from the lamb so you can really taste it. And you get a little bit of that crispy onion in there. Oh, let's get a little bit of that lamb fat with the rice. Oh. The lamb is so tender. This hummus is incredible. Like I said earlier, that lemony flavor that's added in here. Oh, let's get a nice bite with the coriander. And it's so fresh. You really almost don't even taste the chickpeas in here. What really stands out is the tahini and the lemon. And you have to have the right flatbread to go with it. That soft, chewy flavor. Oh. I'm so happy right now. Oh. It always takes me a few bites to get comfortable with whatever style of dining experience I'm having. I get it now. Knowing how much of the flatbread to tear off, the lamb, the rice, and now we're gonna go into the marak, lamb broth. And I can't get over how good this spicy sauce is. Wow, that was incredible. So delicious. The hummus is out of this world. That beautiful lemon flavor that comes through with the tahini is amazing. The fahsa, that lamb stew with the shredded lamb in there, that beautiful broth. You can tell it's been cooking for hours. So flavorful and rich. And then you had the lamb mandi, which was succulent, fall off the bone. That lamb shank is seasoned with authentic Yemeni spices. It just had such a unique flavor that I'm not used to having. It was so good.
So regal. Hi. That is beautiful. These wrought iron gates with the man to greet you at the door. Hi. I'll have a matcha latte, please. Matcha latte? Yeah. Hi. Yes. Thank you. We're in the FENWAY neighborhood at Finista. This is a Vietnamese coffee shop and ready for a little pick-me-up. This is a Vietnamese black coffee. It's got a very rich chocolatey flavor and a really thick foam layer on top. Just poked one little hole into that foam top. It's beautiful. I also have been craving a matcha since this morning, so I had to get another matcha. So thick, vegetal. It's like drinking a green smoothie. I think Boston has made me like a real fan of matcha. I've had matcha lattes for several years now, but the best matcha lattes I've had have been here. Yeah, they're like frothing. This is also a cafe, so they also make banh mi and other Vietnamese snacks. It's a beautiful Friday. The sky is so clear. Weather's amazing. We're headed over to the Haymarket right now. It's supposed to be like an open food produce market. Sometimes I wish I could get into a market before something immediately draws my attention. There's oyster shucking already. Full raw bar, oysters and clams. It's like when we went to the Albert Kite Market in Amsterdam. First thing, as soon as you walk in, oysters. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Can we do a half dozen oysters?
Must be early, no music.
Yeah, I got it. Just shut up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. At least you'd have enough till Christmas or something, you know? Times like that is when you wait for the long haul. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got some fresh oysters. This guy's only here Friday and Saturdays. The oysters are coming from the Cape, and yeah, we caught him on a good day. Friday, Saturdays are the only days he's out here. Oh, man, that's a fresh oyster. That's really different from other oysters I've had. It's a little sweeter, a little silkier in the flavor. Wow, that's amazing. And it's got that oyster jus still in the shell. So good. Ice cold, so delicate and bright. Oh my God. They get better as you go. Wow. You saw how easily he was shucking those? They're not stuck to the shell, they're just coming right off. Incredible. I might have to go get another half dozen. Beautiful, tasty oysters. They're so silky, fresh. This is like top of my list of coming to Boston. You gotta get the oysters. Oh, that one was a little bit saltier. Oof, amazing. I don't even care that we're eating on top of a half construction zone pylon here. Those oysters are so good. You can eat them anywhere. The sweeter ones tend to be bigger. These are small and they have a little sweeter flavor to them. Okay, this is not gonna be the last oysters we have today because I'm officially hooked now. We're gonna need more than a half dozen. So this market has been open for just over 200 years, the same spot. It's amazing to see these really old markets still functioning. The produce looks really fresh. The pomegranates, it's that time of year. Oh, salt cod too. Oh, this is an extensive market. Look, they've even got like tiny bananas back here. The watermelon looks awesome.
Everyone I told that to, they tried it. I couldn't give it.
Whoa, look at the size of these peaches. You've got fall fruit ready, all the persimmons, pomegranates. Look how bright red those are.
Don't touch it.
Oh wow, they've even got Swiss chard right now. Summer vegetables. End of the season. Oh, I love these beans, the borlotti beans. Make amazing bean soup. We got a lot of Latin vegetables here too. Cilantro, the yuca. Holy cow, look at the zucchinis.
It's crazy.
Fresh coconut. Super heavy. These long hot peppers look so good. They're back there. They're so shiny, crispy and fresh. And scallions, look at them, how fresh they are. Crisp. Those will last in your fridge for a long time. They're really fresh. Well, this is a fish market down here. Large crabs, blue crabs. Beautiful. So purple.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love these.
The carrots, look how clean they are. They've got the open lettuce bags already cut up.
Wow.
That looks great. These mandarin oranges. Oh, look at the gourds. Beautiful. We're starting to see these along the brownstones.
Yeah, that's heirloom pump.
Heirloom palm. Oh, okay, okay.
That's for decoration and for
Eating? Oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
different flavor.
Different flavor.
Yeah, that's a really good variety you have. They look great. Every time we come to one of these markets when traveling, I'm always so jealous because I want to buy so many things because we don't have them. Like for instance, the borlotti beans. We don't have those right now. And it's like, but I can't even take those home with me.
So $6, right?
Yeah, look at this tuna. He was telling us you can go out to Seaport and see the whole fish while they're selling them in the markets. Oh, Beantown pastrami. This is where I wanted to go to get the lobster roll. Red's Best, I was reading about them. They like source ethically sustainable seafood and from their fishermen. Wow, look at this, how fresh. Beautiful fish. Wow. The oysters too, oh my goodness. They make fresh sushi here, it looks great, the salmon. I'm so excited looking at that lobster roll already, it looks so good. It's got the claw meat, cold salad, lobster roll. I see a little bit of celery in there too. But that bread also looks really soft. Oh, the bread there too. But look how glossy, juicy that lobster meat looks. Mmm. That's the one, you guys. The lobster salad is ice cold. The brioche bun is warm and toasty. So fresh. Lobster meat, super juicy. It even seems like it has butter on the cold lobster, almost like a combination of the Connecticut and New England style, right? and it's packed into that roll. I love it when there's more lobster meat than actual bread. I'm gonna take a bite of that piece right there. Wow. That outside bun that's been rolled in butter and then toasted gives it a more buttery, creamy flavor. Little hints of celery and onion in there, nothing overpowering, just adds to the flavor of the salad. Look at the size of that, all that lobster meat. So this is the more traditional clam chowder. Doesn't have dill in it like the one we had yesterday. I love to see the speckles of cracked pepper in there. Oh wow, it's smoother than it looks because it's so thick, but it has really nice viscosity to it.
You have ice today?
There's so much clam broth flavor. It's so strong. Cube potatoes in there, nice and soft. Chunks of clam meat. And that cream soup is amazing. Wow. Definitely more clam than there's potato. Look, you can see all those pieces of clam in there. Perfect bite size where you can really feel it, taste it as you're chewing. I know they give you these crackers, but it really doesn't need it. Not even gonna put them in there. That's excellent. I don't know how you can do a bowl of this. Just 1 cup. It's like, we've hardly broken into it and it's so filling. Wow, look at this cheese. Camembert. Ooh, nice hybrid. Camembert and brie. How pretty. Wow. Hazelnut covered with chocolates. Wow. Okay, I gotta get one of these. The key lime sounds good. White chocolate infused with the key lime zest. White chocolate shell, white chocolate ganache, and a Madagascar vanilla paste. So simple, but that sounds amazing. Tangerine sounds good. Ay, ay, ay. It's so hard. Ooh, caramelized banana puree with milk chocolate. Come on. Okay, can we please have the banana and the tangerine? See the classic brigadeiro here. Chocolate, condensed milk, and fudge. So this is your shop? Yes. And you're the chocolatier also? Awesome, that's so great. Yes. But you've really achieved something beautiful with your color schemes. The ombres, they look wonderful.
Thank you.
And it's Parlotte?
It's my name. My father's name.
Oh, your last name?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Nice to meet you. Yes. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. It's what tomorrow brings. Okay. Yes, that's it.
Perfect. Subscribe.
I think I'm gonna go in for this Brazilian brigadeiro first. This is so cute. This is her Halloween collection. It's so soft, almost like marshmallowy. Oh, it's so fudgy. You can taste that condensed milk in there a little bit too. That's what gives it that really soft texture. I love the color of that. It's like this ocean blue, so unique. This banana one, it's got like a caramelized banana puree in there.
We're gonna get ice cream with the
Wow. It's a banana puree, but it's more like a banana caramel. Dark brown sugars, banana flavor, very delicate banana flavor too. It's not overpowering. Lucilene, the owner, she is the chocolatier. She's from Brazil. Her family, she comes from a family of chocolate makers, and now she's a chocolatier. It's so cool. This one is the tangerine ganache filling. So delicate, they're literally melting in my fingers. You guys, white chocolate, tangerine jam. Wow. The creaminess of that. And the white chocolate really helps to smooth out that sharp tangerine jam flavor. That's so smart, I love that. This one is so cute. It's a vanilla bean ganache. And I love that white bonbon with the dark speckling on top. It almost looks like a robin's egg. Oh, that vanilla ganache. It just melts on your palate. The white chocolate is so good. Thick and creamy, like almost like a vanilla butter. That white chocolate infused with vanilla bean paste. All right, with these chocolates, thankfully, there's a coffee shop right there because that's exactly what you need to go along with this. So that is the tangerine and banana is such an interesting flavor. I love it.
So I'm trying my best to get the grapefruit flavor.
It's in there. I really taste the tangerine that you're going for there. So it's great.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. It's
Because
as soon as I bit in, I said, "Oh my goodness!"
Because it's easier to get like the artificial flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and
Of course.
it's
Right.
easier.
No.
But for me, that's one of those things that I prioritize. Sorry, my English.
No, it's great. Yeah.
I prioritize.
Oh, prioritize. Yeah.
Yeah. The flavor of the of the fruit.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do. I'm happy. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that
No,
Thank you
I'm
so
I'm
much.
so
So
happy
glad we
we
met
found you.
this means
All
a
right.
lot.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa. These little cups, yeah. And they're flash frozen to maintain the flavor. I guess you thaw them. Or you can use them like ice cubes to make an iced latte or something like that. In honor of our Brazilian chocolatier, I had to get a Brazilian pour over. Oh man. This is a big cup. It's almost really, I still have that taste of the chocolates in my mouth, and this coffee is like bringing out like those banana notes. This place is called George Howe Coffee Shop, by the way. They're also a roasting company. Yeah. It's even better now with that coffee. Oh. This day doesn't get any better. But the weather's incredible. I can't believe it's October. So on this bridge, you can actually see there's like a red stripe that runs through the entire length of the bridge, or this just kind of divided line. It looks like a prime meridian running through the city. That's the Freedom Trail, and it goes through all of the major monuments in the city. It's pretty much like a self-guided tour. And apparently the trail runs for several miles. Looks like we are entering Charlestown and we get to walk through this park. Freedom Trail continues this way. This neighborhood's beautiful. Quaint little New England town here. You have like a pasta and wine shop, little clothing boutiques, and you just hear the sound of all the trees rustling in the wind. I really matched this wall, I just realized. This is the Bunker Hill Monument, right in the center of the town. It's incredible up here. Man, the breeze, the leaves. Just standing up here on Bunker Hill. It's pretty incredible that we're sitting at a restaurant right now that's about 230 years old, and it's been visited by the likes of George Washington and Paul Revere. This is an incredibly historic tavern. All right, so we got 18 oyster happy hour, dollar oysters, and they look so fresh. Oh, they're already loosened off the shell. Oh my God. Heavenly, heavenly. Ice cold once again. They really know how to shuck their oysters and keep them the way they should be. Oyster experts out here. Salty and briny. These are a little bit more briny than the ones we had this morning at the market. So fresh and crisp. I need to have one more just on its own because they're so delicious as they are. That oceanic briny liquid and then the cold oyster. Salty like the ocean. It's like you're jumping around in the water, you're in the ocean, and like a wave comes at you and you get some salt water in your mouth. That's what it's like eating these oysters, just cold ocean water. It's so good. The Prosecco is perfect with this. That saltiness, this bright, zippy, lemony Prosecco. The oysters bring out like a citrusy, lemony flavor from the Prosecco. Well, that's strong horseradish. Very fragrant. A little bit of cocktail sauce. All right, here we go. That one actually had to be moved from the shell. Hold on. Phenomenal. That horseradish and the cocktail sauce actually even enhanced the flavor of that oyster. My mouth is like still watering. It's so juicy, delicious, salty and briny. I have no words. All right, so we're on our way into North End, which is basically Boston's Little Italy, a traditional Italian area. But we wanted to stop at Prima, which is also an Italian restaurant here in Charlestown. They're really well known for their mozzarella, and they have a mozzarella bar. So get a little antipasti with a Sangiovese, and then we'll keep moving. But really, we're sitting outside. Look how beautiful the display, the decor, these giant pumpkins that they have out here. It's almost impossible not to stop in. Look at this ball of mozzarella. They actually make this fresh to order. Wow, it's soft, very creamy and milky. So stretchy, elastic. Oh man, look at that. Wow. I'm gonna cut it because I'm worried it's gonna snap into the air. It's got some fresh pesto and these kind of maybe braised tomatoes just until softened. You know the mark of a fresh mozzarella ball? When it's still warm. This was just pulled, literally pulled, made into a mozzarella ball, served on a plate. It's still warm, you guys. This is incredible. That's why it's so elastic still. The dairy, the cheese curds haven't even had a chance to really set where they firm up. So it's still stretchy. Wow, and it tastes incredible. It's so milky. Milky, and that tomato, zippy tartness. Wow. A little dash of salt, cracked pepper. Let's get a little bit on here. A little tomato. This is like a sesame baguette. You really taste the sesame in there too. And it complements the mozzarella so well. Got a glass of Sangiovese. Perfect pairing. Come on now. Thank you. So smooth. Silky, silky red wine. This is a arancini shaved truffle Parmesan cheese. And it looks like a creamy style sauce in there too. Oh, so arancini is a rice ball, and it's creamy rice, almost like a risotto, and then rolled in breadcrumbs and deep fried. Oh, you can smell the truffle on there. Rich, decadent. That white cream sauce is like a bechamel, and then that freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna get another bite right here with this truffle, shaved truffle on there. I really like how they kind of just mounded it on top of the arancini ball. Exquisite. The walk from Charlestown is really nice. You can either take the bridge or the route through the park, and then it puts you right in North End, Little Italy. And you can see immediately how the buildings start changing. The buildings look much older. There's much more of an Italian-American influence. Regina's Pizza. Okay, so we're in line for Regina's Pizza, and it's about a 10-15 minute wait, they said. I can smell cheese and pepperoni. Get out of here. We waited about 20, maybe 25 minutes tops. But this place is epic in here. These booths, this place is almost 100 years old. And it feels like they haven't replaced the booths in 100 years. There's a lot of myth and legend surrounding this place, and it gets labeled by a lot of people as the best pizza in the world. As a matter of fact, I was wondering, I was like, who's Regina to begin with? Regina's not a person. It's Italian for Queen Pizza. Regina Pizza. This is thin crust brick oven pizza. You can smell that char coming from the kitchen. Wow. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna go for this charred edged pepperoni piece here. Oh man, it's really, really hot. Woo! Woo! Oh. Look at the cheese falling off. Oh my God. And the crust is thin, but it's crispy. Can you see that down there? It's extremely hot. We're seeing the pizzas come out and the cheese is literally still bubbling in the window. Mmm. Oh. This tastes like what every single American pizza has been modeled after. Every Italian-American pizza joint tastes like it was born of this. Wow. The cheese is so ooey gooey. The pepperonis charred along the edges. Crispy, spicy, incredible, you guys. The crust is crispy on the bottom, a yeast raised crust. And the pepperonis are like these classic old school pepperoni. They're a little charred and crispy, nice little spicy kick to them. And then you have these charred bubbles that you'll run into every now and then. How can I forget? The tomato sauce. It's tangy, it's got a little bit of hint of sweetness. Beautiful compliment to like this style of pizza. Another beautiful day out here. I'm ready for some coffee. This is the South End neighborhood. It's beautiful here. So many brownstones. There's no humidity. It's pretty dry out. Oh, this is it here. Thank you.
Yeah, and it comes with a Turkish delight as well.
I've never had Turkish coffee in a beautiful cup and saucer like this. Had to get a Turkish bagel as well. They have, aside from the Turkish coffee, they also offer Turkish pastries. It's really, as a matter of fact, let's go in for the bagel because the coffee is really hot. They toasted it for me as well. It's got sesame seed crust on top.
slightly as dense as a bagel. Almost looks a little more like a pretzel. It's got the fluffiness of a pretzel, but you definitely get that Turkish flavor with the sesame seeds. It's very thickly rolled in them, so as soon as you go in to take a bite, you have that flavor of sesame seeds hit your palate. And you got a lovely cream cheese on there. It reminds me of the Greek, I think is it kuluri? The Greek ring pastry similar to this. But the Greek one, if you've had it before, is lighter. Very similar, but they taste different. Oh yeah! In Greece also, they serve it with cream cheese, but they call it Philadelphia. But like Philadelphia cream cheese. So here they are serving it with Philadelphia cream cheese too. Oh, yum. That's one of the better Turkish coffees I've had. Sometimes they can be a little bitter, but this has pretty much like a filtered coffee flavor. Even though it has not been filtered, it still has the coffee grinds inside of it. It really has more of a flavor of like an espresso, almost like a long black. Oh, wow. And then they give you a Turkish delight, which is basically like this one looks like it's made with honey and almonds. Honey, almonds, and rolled in coconut. So Turkish coffee is unfiltered. As you're drinking it, you can see some of the residue of the coffee grinds. And ultimately, it'll be sitting at the bottom. This is an old neighborhood. I love seeing the pumpkins on those porch steps. All right, this street is amazing. There's restaurants and bars, and then we just spotted this place. It's called Formaggio Kitchen, and they sell cheese, but they also do like prepared foods. I've never seen cheese that yellow. Ash ripened with a blooming rind. Markets like this are my kryptonite. Dangerous game. The crackers. Bologna. Bologna, Italy all day. That's what you get with your aperitivo. They have sandwiches. Ham and butter. Prosciutto and butter. So much cheese. Wow. I wouldn't even know where to start. Each one has a description. So much time taken. Wow. Yeah, I'll have your spicy Italian sandwich. Yes, please. From outside, you can't tell that there's this much action going on in here. It's so quiet outside. A whole nother dimension. They have an entire shelf of just the balsamic vinegars. Wow, check this sandwich out. Wow, that is like a nice old school loaf. It's got, this is the spicy Italian. It's got salami, prosciutto, mortadella, and roasted peppers. I think it's a provolone cheese that's in there. And like a tapenade style spread. Let me see if we can get a peek here. Oh, it's under the ham there. This is what I'm talking about, you guys.
That's amazing. You get a little bit of that spice from the spread that's on the bottom of the bread. The outside is really toasty, packed in there with meat. I love the flavor of that spicy spread in there, the salty prosciutto, the salami, everything is very fresh. I got a big chunk of pickled pepper. One more bite from the bottom here. Oh, there's a nice piece of pepper. Spicy. Wow, the tree, the restaurant. Starting to see a lot of open food lunch spots. This is a live poultry place? Oh my God. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen to date. They're selling live chickens in there. And there's a line out the door. You can't get the chicken any fresher than that. I literally hear them clucking. Whoa, okay, let's go walk by it. We might have to have ramen and dim sum. Get off me. Oh, it's actually suctioned onto there. There was no way I was gonna pass by Torta ramen without coming in for a donburi bowl. And they're starting us off with the miso soup. Oh, the umami flavors out of this world. The traditional miso, the white miso flavor. Thank you. What a beautiful display of sashimi over rice. I ordered their Nagahama Don, and this has got spot shrimp, squid, sea urchin, salmon, yellowtail, and mackerel. Thick and fatty. So creamy yet lean. I thought it was going to be much more fatty to the mouth texture, and I thought this was like skin on here, but it just pulls apart so easily. It's so tender. Sea urchin. Just a little touch into the soy, and I'm going to get a little bit of the rice. Oh, look how sticky this Japanese rice is. Taste of the ocean. Mossy, wet rock, and sea salt. It just lingers in your mouth. Here's the salmon. The slices are cut so nice and thick, but the fish is so soft, it's buttery. Silky and fatty, but not too much. You can really taste that salmon meat. That's luscious. And then here we have the squid, scored. Wow. I need to get a smaller, I can just take a little bite. A little bit of wasabi on there. And I'm gonna take a bite right out of the bowl because it's one long strip of the squid. Oh, sweet and crunchy. Nice and cold. Beautiful sweetness to it. The wasabi is really good. Take a little bite of this rice. Oh, the wasabi is delightful. Wow. I almost missed out on the mackerel. Here we go. I love how the scallions have stuck onto it. More flavor. Oh, that might be my favorite one. The mackerel almost has like a light pickling to it. All right, last one we got here is the spot shrimp. I gotta do this with my hands. Oh, I've never had raw shrimp before. It's like butter. Like it literally sticks to your tongue like butter. Wow. Whoa. If you've ever eaten the inside juice from the head of the shrimp, that's what the entire body texture-wise feels like. It's very creamy and buttery and like sticks to your palate. That place was so good. It's underground. It's busy in there, cozy. There's like 8 sushi chefs. They are 100% ramen and sushi donburi bowls. Definitely recommend. The Chinatown gate is right here. It's so, I know, there's so many places. It's packed with restaurants. I love a Chinatown. It just means food, 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 tasty, spicy, delicious food. This gives me like what I've been missing about being in Europe and most recently in Belgium and the Netherlands. The diversity of food, the buildings, people everywhere, the smell of food everywhere.
So good.
Yeah, I love all the flags. 10-second Yunnan rice noodles. What is that? It's so specific. Yeah, this one was recommended too. All right, so you can't come to Chinatown and not have dim sum. This place, Hey La Moon, is legendary. The place is packed to the brim. It's a bi-level banquet hall style restaurant and it's so busy. I love how they automatically bring you the tea. You don't even have to ask for it. As soon as you walk in the door, it's just this huge room filled with people. The sound of plates clanging, carts moving around you. Hi. What else do you have? Okay.
Shrimp? You want shrimp?
Yes, yes. Okay. All right, our favorite cart just came by. The one with the shumai, Andres' chicken feet, shrimp dumplings, and the rice roll shrimp dumpling. Oh, I love how they give you Chinese black vinegar. This is like my new favorite condiment. I'm going in for the shrimp dumpling first. Oh, they're so sticky. This dumpling is so fat. This is one of the more packed shrimp dumplings I've seen. So much shrimp in there. It's almost fully to a paste. It's got a little bit of shrimp chunks in there. And I think I'm chewing on a little bit of little pieces of ginger also. The rice wrapper is so soft, gummy. Really nothing better to have with the dim sum than some hot tea. Really just cleanses the palate. Wow. This is a pork shumai and it looks like it's got some mushrooms in it too. These are big. Whoa. Really intense pork flavor. Well, it almost tastes like a pork broth in that flavor of the shumai. Some of the larger dumplings I've ever had in a dim sum place. Look at the size of this rice roll, shrimp rice roll. So thick, that rice wrapper. The shrimp is cooked just till done. It still has a lot of softness. Wow. The wrapper is so thick, so the shrimp is kind of held into place,
because some of that rice dough is still very soft in there. That's a more unique texture from what I'm used to. It is so hard to pick up. See, maybe you can see in there how doughy it is inside. Let me just move it so you can see it's juicy. We got some chicken feet also. These are Andres' absolute favorite. He dreams about chicken feet. Yeah.
You go, what sandwich you want?
All right, so I ordered some of the pork buns. They say they're really good here. They're so soft. It's like a really soft hamburger bun, like an ultra soft brioche. Wow, they've got a nice little sugar top brushed on there. It smells delightful. Whoa. Wow. Look at the inside of this pork bun. So juicy, so much sauce. Tons of pork in there. It's a sweet and sour pork. It is so good. The texture of that bun is one of the best I've ever had. And I don't think I've ever had a pork bun this juicy. Incredibly soft. You can tell these came just out of the oven. I love this. This might be my favorite thing here. What is this? Sweet tofu? Okay, let's try. Okay, so from this cart, we're ordering a sweet tofu. Yeah, this is something I've never had before. I'm not really even sure what to expect. Oh. Thank you. Oh, looks like a yogurt. Wow, this is definitely a dim sum place you can come to and experiment with some new dishes. I've never seen this going around in a dim sum cart. Look how soft. This is a very soft tofu, gelatinous, like a jello. I think I saw what she was pouring, like a syrup maybe on top. Oh, wow. You guys, this is like a tofu custard because it's incredibly soft. It has almost like a soy milk custard, and then the syrup she poured on top is like a very thin ginger syrup. It's definitely more like a dessert. Let's try some of these pork ribs. They're like these little pork cuts in their sauce. The sauce is nice and thick, almost like a slightly gelatinous sauce of it. I see some Chinese black beans in there too. Juicy, that pork jelly likeness. Yum. Yeah, like a fermented bean flavor in the sauce of the pork. I also think there's like a root vegetable in here. Like, oh, like maybe taro. Yeah. Wow. If it's not taro, it's another root vegetable similar to it. That's really good. Kind of like a potato-y texture. The pork in there is savory and sour. Love those little pork chunks. That's the best thing ever. Look how much pork is in there. Oh my God, you guys. The food in Boston, even in Chinatown, is so much. The portions are so big. These are the biggest, tastiest dumplings I've had. And that pork bun was like mind-blowingly good. The warm soy soup was like that was more like a dessert because it had a ginger syrup. Just everything was delicious. We're gonna do a little bit of walking, let some of this food go down. Look at this. Pork ribs, pork belly, duck,
Oh man.
That place is called Double Chin. That's me right now.
Cafe Nero.
The Paramount Theater. It's beautiful. At one time, it was probably like the biggest building on the block.
Wow, this building is amazing. It's not a theater. Oh.
This street's like an outdoor mall.
There's clothing, all kinds of like big box, major apparel stores. And then there's also the corner, which is a food court. Just want to take a peek. Wow, this is like taken out of like 1982. We have Xi'an. There's a Xi'an place in this food court doing northern Chinese cuisine from the Xi'an province. Oh, that herbal tea? They have biang biang noodles.
Pay for them. And then this one, yeah, the meat is pork.
We just had dim sum, so
Next time.
No worries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Their menu is extensive. They have like all the classics. And my favorite herbal tea. You can eat real good in this food court. Whoa. Killing it with the arepas. Wow. The empanadas piled high while he's making Italian sausages. Union Oyster House right here. The oldest, longest running restaurant in the United States. And right next to it is Bell in Hand. It's the oldest tavern in America. All right, so we stopped into Cafe Vitoria. This is another really, really historic old cafe in the middle of North End. Renowned as being the first Italian cafe to have ever opened in Boston. Thank you. Oh, look at this espresso. That beautiful, precious espresso foam in this small little cup. The nutty, hazelnutty smell. Oh. That's amazing. Just like Italy. What's crazy is that this place has been open since the 20s. It's extremely popular, but they haven't rested on their laurels. This espresso is amazing. So we walked the Esplanade in its entirety from Beacon Hill to Back Bay, and you guys, I highly recommend taking this walk. It's one of the most beautiful walks in the city, especially if the weather's nice. Breathtaking out here. Night Shift, one of the local breweries in the city, has like a brewery right here in the park. It's just stunning out here. So New England is known for their hazy IPAs, one of my favorite styles. This one's citrusy, hoppy. It's like you squeezed a grapefruit right into the cup. Andres got the Charles River Hazy IPA. This one's a little bit more orangey. not as strong. You can really taste the difference between the double and a single IPA. This is a single IPA. It's a little bit more like navel orange rind instead of the grapefruit rind. Slightly lighter. I think you might even be able to tell that this one's a little bit more orange and this one's a little darker. This is our last night in Boston and we have been eating some incredible food. But one thing I could not leave without is one, more oysters, and two, the fried Ipswich clams. So we're here at Little Whale Oyster Bar. It's in the Back Bay neighborhood. Wellfleet oysters here. These are Massachusetts oysters. The Spinney Creek, also from Eliot, Massachusetts. These are just stunning. Hopefully you can see them in that light. Even though it's low, I think you can see how shiny, glossy, beautiful. And I'm just going straight in. No lemon or anything else yet. Oh my goodness. So briny, salty, ice cold. The description was that it would be a little bit more on the sweet side and smaller in size. You can definitely tell it's slightly smaller, but they just look so fresh, clean. Wow. Wow. This was in fact saltier, ice cold. I can't stress enough how cold these oysters are. Having that Prosecco yesterday at Warren Tavern with the oysters really stuck to us. So we got ourselves a sparkling white from the Catalunya region in Spain. Clear and crisp as the oysters themselves. Oh, so bubbly. A very green apple, lemony flavor to it. Wow. All right, they brought us some hot sauce to go with the oysters, and I would eat them alone, but doesn't feel right not trying it with what they suggested it with. So I'm gonna drop a couple drops here. Wow. That's like a house-made hot sauce. It's actually very complementary to the flavor of the oyster itself. All right, Ipswich clams. I've been waiting for these. Whole belly clams made the traditional New England style, breaded and fried. These are big clams too. Wow. Wow. Incredibly fresh. That breading combined with the clam meat is the best thing ever. The flavor of the whole belly clams, the entire clam, not clam strip, has so much more flavor. That unctuousness, it really makes a difference. I grew up eating clam strips down in Key West, and I never had a whole belly clam. This is a total game changer. And the breading is incredible. It's so crispy, but light and airy at the same time. It's not heavy, with a nice sprinkling of flake salt. This is a Little Whale tartar sauce, so it looks like it's like their signature house tartar sauce. I love the rusticness of it. It's got some texture to it. Amazing.
Thank you.
Plenty of horseradish in there, mayonnaise, some cucumber brininess, vinegary in there. So we also ordered a blue fish dip. We're doing kind of like a tapas style dinner since we've been eating all day, but I was not going to miss this for nothing in the world. It's served with sourdough bread, and it's a blue fish dip. It's got figs, balsamic vinegar. Oh, wow. Look at the spreadability on that. Oh, man. Caramelized or softened onions, too.
when I would go every year, there was a NATO intelligence conference for 2 weeks, and we produced an estimate of
The fish is slightly
usually
smoked,
stay in this old
and the balsamic reduction adds a nice sweetness to it. The onions too kind of play into that. It's served cold, and the sourdough bread is soft, gentle crispiness on the outside edge, but very nice and doughy on the toast itself.
and around the backside of the place, the tire industry.
We've got whole belly clam, tartar sauce, right into the fig balsamic. All right, so you guys thought we were done, but we had to get another round. So these guys here are actually Maine River oysters. These are called Mookie Blues from Damariscotta, Maine. It's sitting in its oyster jus. Wow. Whoa. Very briny. That's impressive that these are river oysters. You can even tell though their shape, they're a little more squared off. And hot sauce. Thank you, oyster.
I was at the boarding school. We had a dance, one dance.
Oh man. The oysters in Boston will change your life.
All
right. Look how soft and tender this medium rare steak is. Wow. It's just incredibly soft. The compound herb butter is so good on there too. It just adds more to that juiciness of the steak. And the flake salt just sprinkled on there lightly is so, so wonderful. Let's try some of this green salad that comes with it. Crispy and fresh. It's arugula and frisée, but it's got the arugula gives it that pepperiness. The frisée gives it that a little bit more texture, complexity. And then it's got a really nice dressing on it too. It's got a hint of sweetness, almost like a honey lemon vinaigrette. Thin, almost shoestring fries. Crispy on the outside, pillowy on the inside, even as thin as they are. Think about when you go to McDonald's and you get lucky enough that the fries just came out of the fryer and they're so fresh, crispy, hot, but they're that same thickness as these. That's what they taste like. Time for dessert, guys. JP Licks.
All right, thanks. How are you?
Good.
What am I ringing you up
He's
for?
doing an extra thick frap. I'm having an espresso frap. All right, this is JP Licks, born and raised in Boston. They do the classic fraps. They've got frozen yogurt, affogato. It's an ice cream frap shop / coffee cafe too. So they've got a little bit of everything. And they actually roast their own coffee beans too. I got the espresso frap with Myers rum raisin ice cream. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh yeah. Espresso, Myers rum raisin. That's so good. It's not too sweet. You get a lot of the milkiness. Yeah, I would say the ice cream is not too sweet, or they put like a nice amount of milk in there to keep that milky, fresh milk flavor. It's not like this like super sweet thing.
a nice overlay of that espresso flavor. So good, I'll make you move. Andres got the extra thick frap with vanilla and coffee ice cream. Whoa. Whoa. Feels kind of the same as far as thickness goes, but this has a really nice vanilla flavor. That the division of vanilla and coffee kind of softened out too much coffee flavor. It's really good. God. All this speckling you see in here, that's all like ground up raisins in the blender from the ice cream. Oh, I can't believe we're leaving tomorrow. It's been such a great 4 days. All right, before heading to the airport, we've got to stop and get some coffee and some breakfast. We woke up a little early today so we can make it out to Pavement Coffee. It's actually in our neighborhood, and they are a local coffee house, and they make their own bagels. I got a drip coffee. I'm getting like a almost blueberry note. That is really bright and fruity. Boston is known for their bagels and donuts. Look at this here. This is a poppy seed with salmon lox. This is actually one of their menu items. It's called Classic Lox. Just by looking at the bagel initially, you can see kind of this bubbling on the crust. And it's because these are brick oven baked. The bagel is chewy, but it has a lot of give as you're taking your bite in. The filling is delicious. You've got the fresh salmon lox in there, a perfect amount of cream cheese where it's not overpowering or overwhelming, but I love a good amount of cream cheese. Some capers, really crispy fresh red onions, and fresh tomato slices. The Jackson Crook, it's on an everything bagel. Look at this sandwich. This is a hefty sandwich. It's got sun-dried tomato paste. Oh, it's a sun-dried tomato pesto. Cream cheese, tomatoes, and red onion. Oh, and bacon, duh. Once again, really great helping of the topping on there. This one's everything bagel. That's the best bagel sandwich I've ever had. The tomato pesto in combination with the fresh tomato gives such a dynamic dimension to the sandwich overall, because you're getting this spicy, herbaceous, concentrated tomato flavor at the same time as you're tasting a fresh slice of tomato. Cream cheese, once again, perfect amount in there. And then the bacon adds such a nice, like, salty protein. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? That's a really, really great sandwich. Just enough of the filling of each ingredient to satisfy the filling of the sandwich, but nothing is spilling out. Toasted dried garlic, toasted sesame seeds from that brick oven baking. One more clam chowder. It's literally just begun boarding, but we're group 4, so we got a few minutes and the gate is right in front of us. It's pretty good. Creamy, has a really nice viscosity. It does have a good amount of clams in there too. The legendary Boston cream pie. It was invented here in Boston
If I remember correctly, it was at the Parker House Hotel, along with those Parker rolls that you hear about. And this is one of the quintessential desserts that you learn in culinary school. So essentially it's yellow sponge cake, vanilla pastry cream, chocolate ganache on top. And this one seems to have like a toffee crumble. So it's kind of got like all the essential ingredients of pastry work. You can't go wrong with this. It's got like everything a human likes. Vanilla custard, chocolate ganache, yellow sponge cake. It is delicious. And I actually like the touch of the toffee crunch on top. It adds a little bit of a kind of peanut buttery chocolate note to it. It looks like it comes with some kind of anglaise. Maybe like a coffee cream or something. It is like a vanilla and chocolate sauce. Honestly, I don't need that. Just give me the Boston cream pie. You have that cold, thick pudding-like pastry cream, and then the yellow sponge cake. That's just so simple, but it adds a really nice texture to the dessert. It's a classic American flavor. All in all, guys, I love Boston. I had so much fun here. In just under 4 days, we walked 40 miles, 40 miles. If you can help it, when you visit, definitely walk. You really catch so much more when you're walking. But there's still so much that I didn't get to try. Iconic Boston favorites, like even the donuts, the Parker House rolls, more seafood that I didn't get to try. Going out to the clam shacks. I can't wait to come back. I'm really looking forward to the day that I do. I'll see you guys on the next one.